Hey folks, Sunday morning after Springboks won. My voice is still hoarse, my head still hurts, but it's a good day. And we're here with Sarah and the system in Mulder's Drift. And I want to just use this opportunity to run through the oxygen cannon and the way that it works. Start off at the pump. At the bottom end of the system, where the pump is situated, this is a high volume, relatively low pressure pump. And it is pumping the water, picking up the water from the bottom of the deep water beds, and each deep water bed has a valve that regulates the intake from each deep water bed. And this is the intake manifold. We are able to adjust the amount of water that is being sucked into the pump by adjusting these valves so that the water flow is evenly distributed. The suction is evenly distributed into the pump. Pump has a priming point. When you start it, you can prime it, pour water in there, fill the line, turn on the pump. Pump is picking up the water into the inlet. It then transfers the water out through the outlet, which then runs all the way up to the top. All right? Follow me. We're going to have a look at the top. Color on these things. Just stunning, Sarah. Well done. Celery is coming on for hot weather. The celery is thriving. Well done. Oxygen cannon now is set at this end, and what's happening is that we've got an incoming pressure from the pump at about 0.9 of a bar, which is what we want it to be. Water's coming in, going through the dissolved oxygen ultrafine bubbler, which creates a range of different bubbles. It's going to create large bubbles, medium bubbles, small bubbles, ultrafine, and even nano, right? We are really not interested so much in the larger bubbles. We're interested in the smaller bubbles, which are more stable and don't pop and don't burst. The outgoing pressure on our cannon should be sitting at around about between 0 and 0.1 of a bar. The water goes out and back to the delivery manifold. We have a suction manifold on the far side. We have a delivery manifold on this side. And the water will distribute across all of the deep water beds. And we have a valve on each again. And we're able to use that valve to determine the amount of water that is being delivered back from the ultrafine oxygen cannon back into these deep water beds. And it takes a little bit of adjusting, a bit of playing, because you've got suction flow and you've got delivery flow. And water and being lazy, water will want to channel and find a specific channel to flow in, and it'll flow down that line without wanting to go down the other ones. You've got to manage and manipulate these valves at the top to ensure that you have water flowing out and down. The adjustment of these valves is something you have to do. I like to check them on a regular basis to make sure that they are giving you the correct amount of water. Every one of the outlets has a gooseneck which goes in to the outlet at the bottom and allows the water that's being pumped out to come out at the top. And we're then able to measure using a bucket how much water is being delivered into each deep water bed. And we want it to be roughly 2,000 liters of water per deep water bed per hour. The pump is delivering roughly 8,000 liters of water, 4 channels, roughly 2,000 liters of water per hour per channel is the flow rate that we want in these channels. And that is approximately, how many seconds, Sarah?
Is it about 39 seconds?
30, I thought it was 36 seconds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
36 seconds I think is exactly 2,000 liters per deep water bed, but 39 is also going to give you a little bit more. Now, if your delivery line is giving too much water in any one of the channels, what will tend to happen is that the water level will rise higher on that channel. But that will be relative to the suction on the other side. So if the suction is sucking a lot, then that water level might stay stable. And you're going to manage. The reason why we have these choking valves on the front is so that you can manage the flow and ensure that you've got an even distribution of water, which then will ensure an even distribution of oxygen, an even distribution of nutrients, and the effective management of pH once the system pH management kicks in. Oxygen nutrient, and pH. Those are the critical ones. But also, very important, is that our oxygen cannon has the physical capacity to destroy pathogens. And one of the ones you've got in here, in new system, we get them all the time, is bloodworms, chronomid midges. And they will be picked up by the suction, and it helps to maybe get a broom every now and again and dislodge them from where they're attached. Just dislodge them, brush inside, let them come loose. They'll flow down, end up in the pump, come through here, and when they go through the machine, they get physically blown apart, right? Once they go through the cannon. That cannon will help you to manage pathogens. Now, it will manage chronomid bloodworms. It will also manage slugs and snails. It will also manage some of your bacterial pathogens and fungal pathogens. Your cannon is doing so much good for you in an aquaponics system that for us now, we recommend them in every one of our commercial systems. And yes, it's a retrofit. You can have it as something you can fit later, but having it in from the beginning means that you've got control from the beginning. And if I look at the way that your plants are growing, I just can't believe this kale, how it's responding to the nutrient that's in the system. And at the moment, we're running on C-Grow. Is that right?
Actually, the multi-grow.
Talborn, yeah. Perfect. And the nutrient combined with the oxygen is providing food for the microbes, and we're starting to see the pH trend downwards, which means that nitrification is really kicking in. Color is absolutely beautiful, beautiful emerald green growing tips in the plants. Your spring onions and leeks are looking good. I'm very, very happy with the way that the system is looking. And if I look especially at your cucumbers, these are looking stunning, and they are growing at a rate of knots.
3 weeks old.
These are 3 weeks old, and they are flying. Cucumbers, tomatoes, all absolutely thriving in the system. And to be honest with you, this has been very ambitious to plant these fruiting crops in the system this early. But the Talborn multi-plant is a top-notch product. We want to recommend that people switch from C-Grow to the Talborn multi-grow or the leafy greens. In the beginning, the leafy greens are actually better because of higher nitrogen, higher ammonia levels. So that's where we want to go. But just beautiful production and really, really well done. Last thing I want to say quickly is just on the management of pH, which you guys haven't started yet. On the manual system, the automated systems have 2 bins, one for potassium hydroxide, one for calcium hydroxide. They have automatic solenoid valves in underneath, and they have a dissolved oxygen probe in the system which will automatically open or close those solenoid valves and distribute the basic solution of your hydroxides through the cannon, thoroughly mix it, and then distribute it evenly through your system. This means that we have got the best control over pH in our system using the cannon. This is the manual option. The automated option has got a lot more to it, and it obviously is more automated, where this is just the manual one, and you put your basic solution in there. When the pH is low, too low for comfort, you're going to come in here manually, put your hydroxide in a solution into this, and then allow the cannon to actually suck it in so that you can get your production through. If I close the suction point, we look at our flow rate. We want to be sitting at between 4 and 5 let's go up, let's take it to 4 and 5. That's where we want to be. It's jumping a little bit because there's a bit of cavitation happening there. I like that sound. That's the one. Right, here we go. It's very exciting, Sarah. Forward to the way this is going to fly. You're going to have fun in this system. Already, having done this thing before, I'm pretty sure you can acknowledge that this is just another level.
It is another level.